The shadows of a life cut short often stretch long, distorting what remains in the blinding light of truth. This is the story of Ted Bundy, a name synonymous with the darkest corners of human depravity and the women and girls whose lives were irrevocably shattered by his chilling actions. This is a story not just of a killer, but of the victims, the families left behind, and the haunting echo of their absence. Ted Bundy, born Theodore Robert Cowell in 1946, presented to the world a facade of charm and normalcy. He was handsome, intelligent, articulate, and charismatic. He graduated from the University of Washington with a degree in psychology, even attending law school for a time. This carefully constructed persona masked a terrifying secret. Bundy was a predator, a serial killer whose crimes spanned several states and left a trail of unspeakable horror. His victims were primarily young, attractive women, often college students or those leading seemingly ordinary lives. He lured them with deceit, often feigning injury or authority to gain their trust before abducting, sexually assaulting, and murdering them. The victims, each with their own unique dreams and aspirations, were the true casualties of Bundy's evil. There was Linda and Healy, a University of Washington student, who vanished in 1974. She was a bright, promising young woman with a passion for journalism, a life brimming with potential that was cruelly stolen. Linda was a vibrant presence on campus, known for her bright smile and infectious enthusiasm, a stark contrast to the cold, calculating evil that extinguished her life. Then there was Donna Gale Manson, a student at the Evergreen State College, who disappeared in 1974. Her disappearance, like the others, sparked fear and unease within the community, a growing whisper that began to amplify into a scream of terror. Susan Rancourt, a young woman attending Central Washington State College, also vanished in 1974. Susan was a bright student, deeply involved in campus activities, her future filled with the promise of contribution and joy. These names, and many more, were the names of human beings, their futures cruelly extinguished by a man who thrived on deception and violence. Their absence created a void, a silence where laughter and love once echoed, a profound emptiness that families and friends would grapple with for decades. The timeline of Bundy's crimes is a grim map of escalating terror. It began in the early 1970s, and the initial disappearances in the Pacific Northwest went largely unnoticed, separated events, presumed runaways, or unrelated tragedies. The region, with its vast forests and close-knit communities, seemed an unlikely place for such calculated brutality. The first confirmed murder is believed to be Linda and Healy, vanishing on February 1, 1974, from her basement bedroom in Seattle. Her disappearance would soon be followed by others, the eerie similarity of the cases slowly chipping away at the town's sense of security. The pattern emerged: young women, often with long hair parted in the middle, abducted from public places, sometimes near college campuses or popular hangouts, and then gone without a trace, as if swallowed by the very earth. Bundy's escape from custody in Colorado in 1977 marked a terrifying turning point. While awaiting trial for the murder of Karen Campbell, a nurse killed on vacation, he managed to escape from the Garfield County Courthouse by jumping from a library window, disappearing for several days before being apprehended again. However, his second escape, in December of the same year, proved far more devastating. He fled to Florida, a stark contrast to the evergreen landscapes of the Northwest, where his killing spree continued with brutal efficiency, claiming the lives of Chi Omega sorority sisters Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy at Florida State University in Tallahassee. He also attacked several other women, some of whom miraculously survived, their harrowing testimonies painting a picture of a terrifyingly methodical and cruel attacker. The murders in Florida shocked the nation, exposing the depth of his depravity and the horrific efficiency of his crimes. The vibrant energy of college life was suddenly overshadowed by a chilling fear, sororities locking their doors and students walking in groups after dark. One of the key turning points came when investigators were able to establish a link between several of the missing women, including the discovery of a distinctive Volkswagen Beetle, a vehicle witnesses had seen near the scenes of the disappearances. This unassuming car became a crucial piece of evidence, a silent accomplice that, when investigated thoroughly, connected Bundy to the crimes. Another critical piece of evidence was the testimony of a woman who had survived an attack by this brave survivor, along with others who encountered him, provided detailed descriptions of his appearance, his unassuming demeanor, his disarming smile, and his uncanny ability to appear helpless, helping to build a comprehensive picture of the killer that law enforcement had been desperately searching for. The piecing together of witness accounts and the eventual discovery of evidence like the stolen dental records from Linda and Healy's cremation further solidified the case against him. The trials of Ted Bundy were a spectacle, marked by media frenzy and public fascination. Bundy, who initially acted as his own attorney, was the embodiment of the charming, cunning deceiver. He played the role of a man of intellect, using his legal knowledge to delay proceedings and manipulate the jury, presenting himself as a victim of circumstance rather than a perpetrator of heinous crimes. He fought tooth and nail to maintain his innocence, even as evidence stacked up against him, his courtroom performances a chilling display of his manipulative prowess. He was eventually convicted of several murders, including the brutal Chi Omega murders in Florida, and sentenced to death. The death penalty, carried out through the electric chair at Florida State Prison on January 24, 1989, brought a measure of closure to the victims' families and marked the end of his reign of terror. His execution was a watershed moment, ending a chapter of horror, but the wounds he inflicted would remain, a permanent scar on the lives of those he touched and the communities he terrorized. The legacy of Ted Bundy is one of enduring horror and profound grief. The impact on the victims' families is immeasurable, leaving behind a legacy of loss that reverberates through generations. The fear and trauma that Bundy inflicted upon the communities where he operated are still palpable today, a cautionary tale whispered through the years. The crimes became a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk within a person and the fragility of life, a stark illustration that evil can wear a human face. Beyond the immediate human cost, the Bundy case had a lasting impact on criminal justice and forensic science. The case highlighted the importance of cross-jurisdictional cooperation, as Bundy's crimes spanned multiple states, and the need for more advanced investigative techniques, particularly in the realm of forensic identification and evidence sharing. It also spurred a renewed focus on victim advocacy and support services, recognizing the immense suffering of those left behind. The case of Ted Bundy has become a case study in criminal psychology, and his methods have continued to be scrutinized by law enforcement and forensic psychologists, delving into the nature of his psychopathy and the elusive understanding of pure evil. Today, the story of Ted Bundy serves as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, both as individuals and as a society. It is a reminder of the importance of the justice system, its dedication to uncovering truth, and of the need to protect the vulnerable from those who would exploit their trust. The case has led to significant changes in how law enforcement agencies approach cases involving missing persons and potential serial killers, fostering a more proactive and collaborative approach. The story of Ted Bundy also illuminates the power of the human spirit. Despite the horrific nature of his crimes, there is also a story of resilience, courage, and a collective effort to bring a monster to justice. It is also the story of the victims, women and girls whose lives were cut short, but who deserve to be remembered not as statistics, but as individuals with their own stories, dreams, and loves. The case of Ted Bundy is a stark reminder that the pursuit of justice, the honoring of the lives that were stolen, and the constant vigilance against those who would harm us is never truly over. Even after death, the actions of a man like Ted Bundy force us to confront the darkest corners of human nature. The story challenges us to understand evil and to learn from the past. It's a tragedy that reminds us of the importance of empathy, compassion, and the enduring value of human life. The victims' names must continue to be spoken, their stories remembered, and their legacies honored. May their memories serve as a beacon, guiding us towards a safer and more just world, forever illuminating the preciousness of every human life.